Hello everybody, what is going on? It is Jimmy here, back with another video, and today, my friends, we're going to be talking about what Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 has to be in order to live up to the previous title, guys. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today. So, Breath of the Wild, if you guys haven't played it, is a must-play game. I feel like, honestly, if you have not played this game, I don't know what you're waiting for. It's truly one of the best games I've ever played, if not the best game. It might actually be the absolute best game I've ever played. And I feel like Breath of the Wild 2 has a lot to live up to because of the fact that Breath of the Wild 1 was so good. I recently replayed it on hard mode, guys, or whatever that mode's called. I think it's called hard mode. But it was very good again, obviously. You know, I just love it. I love the exploration. I love the world. I love everything about it. But I want to make this a series, and this is going to be episode 1. So, guys, I want to talk about what Breath of the Wild 2 needs to be successful. So in this episode, I want to talk about good dungeons. And when I mean good dungeons, I mean really good, thorough dungeons that reminded people of the old Zelda games. I feel like they need to mash the new Zelda style, the open world style, with the old Zelda style, guys, and really bring it together full front, everybody. And I feel like they could easily do this, guys. Nintendo, they're geniuses over at Nintendo. It would be nice if they released something, but they are absolute geniuses over at Nintendo, and I know they could figure something out. I know they could figure out a way to blend the old style of Breath of the Wild with this new style of the old style and the older style, and, you know, just make a Breath of the Wild with dungeons, guys, and I feel like it would be absolutely amazing. And I know that Nintendo can do it. It's just about, will they do it? Because it is going to be kind of difficult, guys, because you have to think that they have to have all that exploration, then they have to make the open world inside the dungeon with all that exploration, and it's just going to be a mess for them. And I wonder if they're going to reuse the same map, guys, and just change it up a little bit. I really do. And if they do, that's fine. I'm not hating on them for that. I think that would be a smart business decision in terms of developmental time and different things and stuff like that. And I feel like maybe they will focus more on dungeons in this one. And I feel like that's kind of what's going to happen because a lot of people did love Breath of the Wild, and the main criticism it got was that it lacked dungeons. And I feel like the Divine Beast dungeons was not enough. I feel like it should have had that plus like maybe 4 to 5 more big dungeons like that if you consider those dungeons. They're kind of dungeon-esque, reminiscent of older Zelda titles, but they're not at the same time. And I feel like Zelda could really use some really good dungeons, guys. And Breath of the Wild 2 most certainly probably will have more dungeons because this is a pretty common criticism a lot of people have of it. And I feel like it is something that definitely needs to be mentioned, everybody, in order for Breath of the Wild 2 to actually be very good and successful. I feel like Breath of the Wild 2 has the most potential in the entire series. The name Breath of the Wild at this point has pretty much exceeded Zelda in terms of what people know. People just call it Breath of the Wild. I feel like they need to call it Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. I don't think that they should call it Zelda, something else. I feel like it should just definitely be Zelda Breath of the Wild Part 2, Zelda Breath of the Wild the sequel, Zelda Breath of the Wild Squared, anything. But honestly, the dungeons, they have to be complex, so that older fans can understand them and just be able to get it. And they have to be somewhat simplified for younger fans, too. Try to find a medium. And Nintendo usually does a good job at this, but sometimes they just don't. And the games are just overly easy. They're never overly hard. And Nintendo games never overly hard. But sometimes they are overly easy, and this is a problem Nintendo has every once in a while, guys. And I really don't want to see them fall down that trap again of just releasing games that are very easy, because some of the games they've been releasing are just they're a little on the easy side, like 1-2 Switch. Like who's actually going to sit around and play that? Like, for me, it's just never going to happen, and I feel like the dungeons have to have a little bit of difficulty to them. So anyways, guys, that's what I think Breath of the Wild 2 needs to be successful for this part 1. The next part, we're going to be talking about story. I'll make sure it's a little more in depth than this one. The thing is, I just didn't really have a lot to say about dungeons. It just basically needs better dungeons, more exploration, just overall just funner stuff, items to collect, more monsters to kill. It just has to be more of everything. That's what Breath of the Wild 2 has to be. It has to be double. It has to be more of everything. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I read all of your comments, guys. Thank you very much to everyone who does leave a comment and even watches this for 10 seconds. If you gave me any time of your time, I thank you very much, and I will see you guys in the next part of this series. Jimmy out of here.